Hello everyone, welcome to the Collector's Headline for April 6, 2020. This week was another heavy week of toy news. Lots of Star Wars, Dragon Ball, a little bit of random animes and video game stuff. All of that coming to you right now. First thing I want to talk about was some NECA TMNT 1990 stuff. We got pics of Casey Jones and the trenchcoat version of Raphael in their 2-pack. The photo set showing some of the regular kind of stuff, different hands, Casey Jones's weapons, the bag you can put him in, a little bit of Raph's trenchcoat soft goods, which looks really nice, and I can imagine a lot of people trying to put that onto, on the Marvel thing. I can see it. If it fits. There is no unmasked head of the Law & Order guy, because Casey Jones is played by that guy. But it's a good time to get the set if you don't already have a Raph, and it's like a Raph Plus, because he comes with the stuff he already has, but then a bunch of stuff more. So it really is a good time to get that if you don't already have it. There's no pre-orders or a release date yet, but judging by the cartoon 2-packs, this one will probably be around $60, and we do have a confirmation this will be a Walmart exclusive, so get that when it's there if the quarantine shit ever stops happening. Super 7 have unleashed Wave 3 of their pre-orders for their Thundercats Ultimates line. They're all up on like the regular online retailers. In the wave, you'll find Chitara, Slith, Jaga, and Captain Cracker. If the pronunciation of those characters that came out of my name other than Chitara were weird, that's because I do not actually watch or have watched Thundercats except when I was like a kid. But either way, I don't know Thundercats. I only own 2 Super 7 figures, He-Man and Skeletor, whatever that ultimate version was of them. And I think you can expect a lot of the same stuff from that. That's where I'm kind of projecting my experience onto, where I can see that they're more posable than the original toys. I mean, anything is more posable than the original toys, but they're not more posable or as posable as like modern Hasbro stuff, for example. They do have a bunch of accessories though, but I mean, I feel like if you're just gonna have them standing and they can't really pose well, what's kind of the point of them having that much articulation if the basic parts are not there to begin with? And they're like $45 each, which seems kind of steep. That's a lot, but I don't know what I'd want from like a modern update of like a classic figure. For $50, I think the only reason to get them is that they're the only option. Yeah, around $45. They're all set to release in the first quarter of next year, so tons of time to decide, I guess. If you collect wrestling toys, I'm sure you've come across these things. Wicked Cool Toys have released a pre-order for their authentic scale AEW ring that comes with an exclusive Kenny Omega. It's 22 by 22 inches big. As the box states, the ring will feature flexible ropes, a fabric ring skirt, rubber turnbuckles, and authentic AEW details, which I think just means the tapestry kind of stuff, and then I think graphics on the turnbuckles. It's $95. I think that's minus shipping, but I don't know how they kind of package this thing. I've never even seen one in hand, but I know, like, what else do you really expect? It doesn't actually have to be like a ring, right? The Ringside Collectibles exclusive Kenny Omega is in his green and black Razor ring gear. You really have to be a diehard wrestling collector to get this thing because, like, where do you even put it? Like, I would want one. I just don't have the room for it. And I'm not the type of guy that typically says, oh, I can't get that. I don't have the room. I just buy it because I want it. But the AEW branding does make it very tempting for me. Very tempting indeed. As I said, it'll be $95 and out in early August. There are versions where normally you can just buy the AEW graphics and put it on another ring and just like switch them out. But I don't really see that here. I don't know if that means they're sold out or they don't exist, but if you look around, I'm sure you'll get it. If you collect these things, you don't need me to tell you about them. You know what's cool and weird all at the same time? Boss Fight Studios, makers of Vitruvian Hacks, Bucky O'Hare, and 2 upcoming lines I'm excited for, Salmon Max and Legends of Lucha Libre, are selling you an online customizing class. What is it, you might say? Well, I have it right here. It says you pay $70, and then from April 14th to May 5th, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, BFS experts will lead you through one step in the figure customization of a figure. Which figure? Well, according to them, it'll be a surprise. You get a box filled with numbered bags of parts. The sessions are recorded so you can rewatch them if you miss them, and there's Q&A after each session. What you don't get is paints and brushes, but you will get recommended some when you register. So I guess Boss Fight is doing one of those like Udemy kind of things where you pay for online classes. I am really curious how effective this lesson will be. I think a lot of collectors wish they could learn to to paint and sculpt and whatever, either in a small level just to fix small problems or a bigger level where they hopefully want to paint or sculpt for Hasbro one day. This is very intriguing, but it's also very expensive. I think a lot of us need more than just online sessions. And the mystery figure doesn't help. Like, what scale is it? How much are the supplies we need to supply ourselves? I just don't know. Until this happens and people talk about it, then we'll kind of be like, oh, well, I guess that was money well spent, but we just don't know. This is the first thing that's ever happened like this. I would definitely invest in something like that if it was like a bigger company whose products I already consume. But I don't really get anyone from Boss Fight. I was gonna get 7X, but I still might. I don't know. But I think there's better ways to learn at like a micro level. You don't have to jump in $70. Start small, I think. That's what Gunpla is. Gunpla's helping me in that regard. If you can't afford to wait, but can't afford to take a class, then I guess this is for you. I'm just saying, I'm gonna wait. We got some new Black Series figures revealed in a day that I did not know existed called Fan Appreciation Day. It's a new day which I never heard of, and I'm not surprised that it is now a thing. In the vintage collection, we got a Power Droid from A New Hope, Rogue One K2SO, Clone Wars Commander Wolf, and a secret figure. Ooh, a secret figure! That's pretty dang mysterious. I don't even think you can get the figure on its own. You can only get it if you pre-order the wave. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it seems like that from what I'm looking at. As for the Black Series, we got 2 carbonized things. Yes, those things that people are like, what? Why are they doing that? I'm talking about the Stormtrooper, where it's just a silver Stormtrooper, but not Captain Phasma, because this is like the old design, and it somehow looks better. I don't know. I think it looks better. What's not better is the carbonized Boba Fett, because most of his clothes are cloth. So for them to be shiny and metallic is kind of ugly. But the Trooper looks like one of those cool Trooper variations that we don't see a lot of. Then for some regular Black Series non-carbonized stuff, we got Empire Strikes Back Vader, Tebow, and Admiral Akbar in the classic white outfit, which I was surprised to know that, oh yeah, we never got that. We only got the version from, I think it was Force Awakens, from one of the new movies. And we got the Mandalorian in Beskar armor, whatever. Yeah, that one that people didn't know was gonna be the look that he would have in the majority of the show. Fans are rejoicing in the fact that they finally have an Akbar in his classic outfit. Vader's biggest difference is that he has no chain and his cloth is under his top armor. As for Mando, I'm still frustrated that even though they did a new one, he still has that really shitty, restrictive plastic cape over his shoulder. Everything's gonna be the usual Black Series price, with the carbonized figs going for around $25 with a June release window, while the vintage figs are $14 on an August window. Still no release date on the 4 new regular Black Series figures though. We got some more Star Wars news with Mandalorian figures from Bandai. Just like with the Black Series, we knew Bandai would give us a Beskar costume, and we were right, but also we probably were never gonna be wrong. We've also got more Baby Yoda, who's outfitted with a soft goods outfit. Mando has many of the same stuff that he came with his brown costume, but he's got so much more. He's got effects parts for both gauntlets, a jetpack, an extra shoulder piece with the insignia on it, an effect piece for the rifle. It's so good. If you held out on the first version, or you just couldn't get the first version, then I hope you stayed up like on Thursday midnight and you got this version, because it's kind of, you just can't get it right now. But it is a regular release, so maybe you'll see it pop up in the future. I'm not sure. It's a side store when I was in Japan. Every toy place I went to, they just said, oh yeah, SH Figuarts Darth Maul. And I was like, wow, that used to be so hard to get. And you could just I can just grab it right here. But either way, whatever. Mandalorian. It looks good. I got it in a pre-order. Did you? I hope you did. Sadly, he still suffers from small head syndrome, which many of us assumed would be fixed, but I can live with it knowing that it's the best version of the Mandalorian that I'm probably going to be able to get or afford. He doesn't have that shitty plastic cape, so I'm happy with that. Baby Yoda, on the other hand, has problems, specifically in the face region. Because of how clean Bandai likes their figures, Yoda has a very flat-looking face that lacks a lot of detail, but it is guaranteed to be more posable than the upcoming Black Series, because Hasbro released pictures of the Black Series one and it's just a hard plastic body. I'd rather pay, what is it, $10 versus $30, so a $20 difference of just yeah, let's have him more posable. And he's gonna have his little hover chair, he's got the bowl, he's got 3 heads. I mean, that's a win for me. In the promo pictures for Baby Yoda, we also see IG-11 in the promo, showcasing the bag accessory that you can put the Baby Yoda in. The duo went live on Friday, and I managed to get an order in. Beskar Mando is 7,700 yen, and Baby Yoda is 3,850 yen. Both are expected to release in September, and I look forward to it. More SH Figuarts news, we have all the pre-order information stuff for Vegeta Big Ape. You know, when Vegeta turned into a big ape. It's 12.7 inches tall, and judging by the pictures, there's like no shading or like a wash, it seems like. It looks very flat. It's not to scale, but of course it could never be. Aside from his heavy duty stand, he comes with a battle damaged eye, hands crushing a shirtless Goku, a small Yajirobe, a cut tail, and of course, hands! According to Bandai, it'll have like diecast parts in the chest to help keep the arms up, and it'll have like heavy duty kind of ankles so that he'll be able to stand without a stand. This Bandai web exclusive will be 18,700 yen and will be out in August. This is regarding Vegito Blue and Zamasu. They're on pre-order now. You can go get them. I hope you can get them by the time this video is up. I was worried about Vegito, and I think I'm right. I was scared he wouldn't come with crossing arm hands, because instead he comes with like an effect piece. I have the Demoniacal Fit, the third-party one. I'm happy with it. It doesn't have the blue hair. If I spend like 30, almost 35 bucks on an accessories pack, I can get it, but maybe I should just repaint my Demoniacal Fit. But why am I complaining about a toy that's not the newest toy? I like the colors on Vegito. He's very saturated compared to the third party, the one that I have, but I will have to wait until it comes out. Zamasu looks fine. I'm not particularly excited for him, but the reviews of the Fusion Zamasu were fine, so I expect this to be just as good if you like the other one. Unfortunately, since it's premium Bandai, you could be overpaying like a smidge just because you're paying quite a bit of shipping for like one figure. So that is a disadvantage, I guess. Vegito 60, Zamasu's 58. They'll be out this November. Those weren't the rages. Those were their prices. We got pictures of the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Final Battle Jiren. This is the second SHF Jiren. This one has some extra sex appeal for the ladies. We've seen pictures of this for a while now, so it's about time we got the price and the release date. 3 heads, 6 hands, and a fireball. Not to mention his extreme size and extreme beefiness. If you're on the fence about getting this one, just check reviews for the previous version and just ask yourself if you want that figure, but shirtless and veiny. As I recall, one of the issues from the previous version was that if you just force the arm to turn more than it should, it'll straight up snap off the peg. I've seen 2 or 3 instances of that in 4chan. That might happen with this one. Jiren is 6,050 yen and will be out in September. Oh, hello now, what's this? An SH Figuarts motorcycle that's not for a common rider? That's right, Dragon Ball has bikes too, you know. Specifically, the Capsule number 9 bike, made to go perfectly with the pink dress Bulma figure. It'll come with gripping hands for Bulma, a swappable skirt piece, and a static Goku figure to go behind her. Kind of ironic that Bandai made a Goku with proper proportions and not just that big-headed figure that we got twice. The bike has such a very classic looking design that it'll go great on a shelf. Get it if you're crazy for Dragon Ball and want your Bulma to actually do something, because she can only stand there holding her Dragon Ball radars so much on a shelf. The bike will be 7,700 yen and will be out in September, and it's a pretty standard price as far as SHF bikes go. Actually, like Kamen Rider bikes aren't even retail anymore. They're all really expensive the last time I've looked. Get it if you want a nice bike for Bulma to ride. Figma has opened pre-orders for their My Hero Academia Eijiro Kirishima. Boy, it must be a good time to be a My Hero collector because you guys are getting so many options for figures from McFarlane, from Bandai America coming up, Revoltech, and now Figma is like jumping back in the game after releasing the first Deku back in like 2017. Unfortunately, I don't watch the show, but I can tell this looks like a standard Figma release. As in, the paint and the sculpt look fine, but from my experience, we can't be too sure about the full quality and the range of motion until it's released, because I've gotten enough action-oriented Figmas to know never to be fooled. Figmas are made to look good, as opposed to actually pose well to my liking. I already see from the design that he has a stiff skirt, and he has thick shoulder gears, and they both could restrict the movement, but I'll shut up. I don't know the character. I don't know how poseable he has to be. He's gonna be 6,800 yen, and will be out this October. This one's a very cool Figma release. We have a Kabuki Yoshitsune Senbon Zakura Kitsune Tadanobu. Yes, you did hear me just try to read it like I knew Japanese, but I don't really know Japanese. More of these art figures. You know, these art kind of table museum kind of stuff, but it is not explicitly a table museum, but it is made by the Freeing guys who have done quite a bit of the table museum figures. How many times can I say table museum? He'll come with an extra face, articulated eyes, and will come with a drum. He is a very pricey 15,000 yen and will be out in December. I guess all those intricate details and colors do not come cheap. That is, if Figma can deliver on this. I don't know anything about COD Blops, and I clearly don't know that much about Figma. At least I think I do, but I don't. But it is very weird for the two of them to combine, and for Figma to go, hey, we're gonna make a COD Blops 4 Ruin. I don't know who Ruin is. Maybe he's the main guy. Donnie Ruin Walsh. Figma has had their fair share of like combat fighting gun person figures, but I don't know anyone that's itching for a figure of this guy that also collects Figma. It's bad enough that Figmas are imports, but now the people who make imports are expecting some sort of mixture with the crowd that loves COD, but also loves action figures, but also don't want to get the McFarlanes. Just a lot of weird levels there that I do not think mix. That could be my biases, that could be my preconceived notions, but I don't know anyone. I can't name anyone that's like, oh, I want the guy from COD Blops 4, but I need it to be a Figma, bro. He'll come with a cool glaring face, a shouting face, a submachine gun, combat axe, and his signature grav slam and grapple gun. Ruin is releasing this December for a hefty 8,670 yen. If this release is what you really want, then I'm happy for you. I really am. But that high price is one of the big reasons why people prefer the McFarlanes for these generic kind of shooter guys. Though I guess that's not who this is for. This is for those special guys who I'm not sure actually exist. Last week I talked about the Pure Arts Cyberpunk 2077 V figures, and I did mention their bike, the Yaiba Kusanagi. We've seen it in the game, we've seen it in clips, we've seen pictures of it. What we haven't seen, the 1/6 scale version of it, and we do now, and I'm gonna tell you right now that Pure Arts isn't doing it justice. You can see the picture in the video, but I'm gonna describe the picture anyway. It's a black void with the figure covering most of the motorcycle and the motorcycle in the back. And depending on where you get the pictures, it'll be like low res and the bike is like slightly out of focus. It is flat out not a good way to showcase the bike that people are supposed to pay the deluxe price for. Like, I'm looking at the pictures right now and they're like in the back, heavy ass shadows. Pure Arts, are you trying to hide something from me? Do you not want me to see the bike? Is the bike actually like a statue and it's not even gonna transform or any of that cool stuff that we've seen in the pictures and the trailers? It's a diorama piece, I'm telling you. It's a diorama display stand piece. Sideshow Collectibles is doing another one of their original costumes for Marvel figure this time. We got a 1/6 scale Shadowland Daredevil. This is not a new costume, this is a recolor of the previous Daredevil costume from 2018. This is their second Daredevil. The recolor, if you're familiar with it, is from Shadowlands, so it's a black and red motif, which I really love. It's the exact same parts from the previous release. You get the same hands and you get the same billy club parts. And I like the recolor of it. The original one had different shades of reds, and this one, the Shadowland recolor, like unifies everything in like a shiny pleather and like a little bit of a felt kind of fabric and some dark reds on a bunch of the lines. It's actually really smart too that the felt material that I'm talking about is only on like the joints. So there's no pleather or anything in there. So it's really good planning on their part. Shadowland Daredevil is going to be $235. And it's limited to 400 pieces. If you're only hearing about this now and you really want to get it, hopefully it's still available by the time the video's up. And the last bit of news, we got the 1/6 scale Arkham Knight Harley Quinn in her costume from the Arkham Knight games. I don't really care much about the costume. Even I have to say that like Hot Toys has really impressed me with the amount of details here. Like there's different textures in the material in the clothing. There's like really tiny small paint apps and like everything. It's all just very well done and shows why Hot Toys is still Hot Toys. I know a lot of people don't think they're that good anymore, but I think this shows that they sometimes still do good shit. At least in just the promo picture. We have to see until the figure's released. The hair doesn't look the best, but it's still better than when they did the rooted hair phase. And I do think the face could have been done better. Like something about it in the jawline makes the face look kind of average. The base plate she comes with has a picture of Harley from the game, and in that she has like such a bombshell kind of supermodel look, but the head sculpt in the figure is just very average. Arkham Knight Harley is going to be $266 and is due to release between June and September of next year of 2021. And that was the news. Let me know what stuff you're excited for that's coming up. Let me know if you got in some pre-orders for some of the stuff I mentioned. And let me know what corrections I still need to make. Thank you for watching. See you next time.